Hi, Anne. How are you?
I'm good, Patrick. How are you?
Fine, fine. Nice to talk to you directly and to see you at least after how many years?
Oh, 12, 13 years when we met online.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
Yes, I remember you were
yeah.
helping me with some English texts and some ebooks I was publishing at this time already. Because everybody has to
Yes,
know
and
that
I've been
Anne.
very inspired by what you created.
Yes, and everybody has to know that Anne, in fact, speaks a perfect French. That's why she could help me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so today you had some questions about the application that you are using, and I thought it was very interesting to share and to help you sharing the answers with everybody because many people are watching those videos. It's not always very obvious at the beginning. It's a very complex app, it's true, but very useful. So I'm
It
ready.
is very useful.
Yes, when you in
Yeah.
the consultation room, you use it.
Yeah, I do.
Hmm. Good, good, good. You know that I need to make a little update very soon because Apple is changing quite often the iOS system, and sometimes some things are deprecated and has to be twisted. And so now I'm working on a little reparation of the videos are not playing inside the app, but we can access them. I will show you, and some other little things that are not very important and you can use it always. And then I hope to have the possibility to make a new version in the future to implement and add things and help because it's the best. I've been watching the App Store and we have already 8,000 something users in the world. It's good, huh?
Wonderful,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
Yes.
It's a good tool. So I
Yeah.
listen to your first question.
Well, the first question is when we choose a condition on the body image,
Hmm.
there are several options. For example, when I choose the liver and then cholesterol,
Yes. Ah,
there are many, many points on the face. There's so many points for that one.
I will put it in
And
English because I can see that
yep,
it's still in French. Ah, strange.
yep, I
We have
saw that. Still French.
we
Yep.
well that's this is a good thing for people to learn how to change the language. You have to go to the preferences of the settings of your iPad, find the app,
Okay.
find the app here and put uh, here English and
Mm,
return and select English here. Okay, this is what I
yeah.
forgot to do before. Then you can come back to the app and normally it will be in English. Yes, so when you choose the liver,
Yes. And then I choose cholesterol.
yes,
There are so many points on the face, and I
exactly.
know that the red points are the main ones,
So at the beginning you have
not the
first,
zones. But
yes,
not,
first
yeah,
you have the reflex zones when you want to use the
yep,
tools, because it's always important to follow a treatment plan. If you want, we will develop it a bit later. So to answer your question, when you press this button, you have all the points, and you have many. Yes.
yeah. And I know the red ones are the main ones, and at this stage, that's what I use on clients. But I'd like to understand because there's in the study area, you have the sequence of which point to start with and which next, and not in this particular area.
No. Yes.
And I'm a bit confused with that.
Exactly. So in this area, in fact, what we have, it's a constellation. It's not a formula. It's a constellation of points, right? So it's 100% of the possibilities. And of course, for cholesterol, we had many possibilities. So it's true that like you said, that some are in red because they are the main one, the one that you should test first. But it's not the point. All of them can be very interesting. So the constellation of points that the application is offering, it's good to choose and to build your formula and the formula for this person at this moment. So testing some points. Okay, you don't have to test all of them, because in fact during the consultation you have a lot of more information. So maybe they have other problems that they talk about, or excess of weight, maybe, or tiredness, or this. And so some points will be, it's not one point that does something, it's combinations of points are more effective. Okay, so here, in fact, when we use the app, we are in the consolidation part of the treatment. First, we had done many other things, but now to answer this question about points, yes, you can start by testing the red one, of course, okay, because they are completely dedicated to liver. In fact, you see that if you press, you have the information of the point, and here also you have, it's going to be the gallbladder. Okay, so like in this part, you have here the liver. This is the main point of the liver, but the liver can be weak not only on his global energy, that would be this point number 50. It could be also a bit lazy on a part of it. It's a very big organ, so that's why you have also here another point very important for the gallbladder. You have other points, so it's good to test. And for example, the app is here to help you, and you say, oh, I didn't remember, for example, the 356. Well, I forgot it. But when you are testing, you say, it's interesting, this one is painful. Okay, so it's the hepatic system in general. It's giving me an idea. Okay, or you can say the 49, it's not very often that we see it in a formula. And it's interesting to see, well, okay, it's got a kneecap junction link, and bowel irritation, abdominal pain. So it's giving me the possibility to make some bridges. For example, imagine that there is a knee problem also. Wow, it's a bit strange. We are talking cholesterol here, but it could be a very good point to ask questions. And here we are making a bridge, the abdominal pain. So maybe it's all the digestive system that is not integrating correctly the fats, and that's why it's creating this cholesterol. So it's not only the liver. We have to escape a bit this point of view, very occidental, we're very Western, that the liver does this, the stomach does this. And no, the connection between organs and are very important. Okay, it's like the bridge between two sides of a city. If you cut the bridge, the districts are not going to survive properly. So here we are making connections, we are testing. So of course, in this case, you have many, but maybe you had already some information that can help you. For example, we have points that we normally remember about the lungs, the 61, the 3, okay? But you can, if the person was also complaining about respiratory trouble, it can be interesting to see that something is not working properly. It's not, we are not machines in the way that this is the wheel that is not right, this is the, no, it's a combination, it's a communication, energetical communication between all organs. So in this case, okay, it's interesting to have more information and to test points that are related with what the person is telling us. So that's why there's so many. So of course,
but it would take a bit of time during the treatment to work it all out. So if this is something you would do before the client comes?
Yes, if you have some information, if it's a second time they come, you can effectively keep the points that you think are more important, but you don't have to do all of them. It's just a test just to test them. And then that's why when we create a formula in the patient section, we can delete all the points that are not answering, okay, and keep only the one that were completely specific to the person. So each client is different, and to say cholesterol doesn't mean anything. It's just a good way to sell a pill. In fact, it doesn't mean anything, and also cholesterol is not dangerous. It's all a lie. But that's why, for example, 290 is very interesting. It's a communication. This is the triple heater meridian. So here we are using the Chinese medicine knowledge. Triple heater meridian is a very good way also to rebalance communication between the three parts of the body. So in this case of the all the organs. So if it's painful,
Yeah.
if it's sensitive, it's tender, then it's part of our formula. If there is no answer, okay, we are not. So it's giving you information, and this is the very Chan concept of Dien Chan. It's treatment and diagnostic at the same time, which is normally not possible in our culture. It's always, I ask you, you give me information, and from this information, I create a treatment. Now, here I'm creating a treatment, testing, and keeping only the tender points. So
Yeah.
it's not a catalog of formula. It's not a catalog. It's a really a computer in a way that it's offering you inspiration, many solutions. So of course, in the case of the cholesterol and the hepatic system and all this, there are many things involved. But if you take something more simple like for example, the elbow, and you have a joint pain in the elbow, you see that they are completely different. Okay.
Yeah.
So why do we also have the liver in this case? Because we are using all the knowledges from Western medicine, anatomy, all this, that it's fantastic, the knowledge they give us. And also we are combining it with Chinese medicine information. So the elbow, for example, the Western part, it's here because if we look at the diagrams of a reflection of the red man, we will see that the elbows are here. And the Chinese medicine is telling us that the hepatic and the liver, it's governing the tendons. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's on the muscles. So it's very interesting to combine. This is why we are going to have more information. And also it's telling us that the spleen, it's important to relax and to bring blood to the big muscles, right? So there are many, and so for example, 61 and 3, why there's those lungs points involved here? Because we have the lung meridian that is going through the elbow, and it could be a blockage on this. So not necessary, but testing. For example, you are testing the 3 and you say, well, why is the 3 there? So you are testing, and suddenly you see that there is the, where is the part of the anatomy? The lungs, element metal. Okay, element metal, it's also the lung and the large intestine meridians. So it's giving you an idea and say, but do you have any problems in respiratory or any digestive problem or any, okay. So if it's very sensitive and they came for the elbow, it gives us solutions, ideas. If it's not sensitive, forget it. But in the next client that will come with an elbow problem, it could be related to this meridian. A blockage on the meridian provoke a pain that has nothing to do with the joint.
Yeah.
Not always.
There's more meridians than there's also the heart meridian going through the elbow.
Exactly. Yeah. And you have points of heart here. You see the 60. You have this point for the heart, and the 460, for example. I don't remember. Head and fist. Okay. The hand, yes, because sometimes the big elbow problems are also coming from, in fact, the wrist, and sometimes it's in the elbow and it's coming from the shoulder, or it's coming from. So that's why it's to give inspiration, to give ideas, not to always repeat. So at the beginning, the beginner just have to test a few points, the red one, like you said, and that's it, and learn more. But it's going to class learning that they will understand that our objective is to help everybody to become a care designer, to create their own treatment that are always different on every client and every session. So the name of the pathology of the trouble, it's just taken from the Western way of describing, but it's not very precise, in fact. But it's a good start. Does that answer?
Makes sense.
That makes sense?
It's great to hear this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's great information because it's combining everything we know from across the world, and they're both beneficial, and that's great.
It's not just to make a catalog. A catalog of solution, like in the pharmacy, in the chemist, it's easy, but it's not true. We are all different. We are not machines. So it's not, this is broken, you do this. In surgery, yes, if it's a bone is broken, it's amazing what they do in the hospital. But then on other things, on other blockage, on other dysfunctions, it's not always like this. That's why also we have this button to transform it into zones to help the people that are not doing the points at the beginning to roll. And also this is why the app is offering always two tools more appropriated to roll those zones, of course. Okay.
Yeah.
But we were talking points. Okay, so I would like to insist that Dien Chan is not only points, it's a complete treatment plan, which is first to take care of the general state of the person when they arrive. So if they arrive very stressed and we just go boom toward our elbow, we might not have any result. First, let's tranquilize, let's calm the person. So we have many techniques. That's why it's a very good method to combine. And you know, you are therapists that have many other techniques, and you don't do only Dien Chan. You combine to make the general state. We can do it with Dien Chan points. We can do it combining with other methods, and depending on the time we dedicate to the people. And then the second phase is to go directly to the local zone, to the body zone. So in the case of the elbow or even the liver for the cholesterol that you were talking before, it's to roll to find what is the best effect, yin or yang, on accepted and pleasant and corresponding to the description they give to rebalance on the body. So it's good to roll on the elbow or on the belly. And then the third part is once we have decided what effect yin or yang it's better or more appreciated by the client, then we will look for the reflex zones. That's why we have this this part, and I think it's what you were saying at the beginning. So if we go here and let's take the elbow, that it's a bit easier. If we go here, it's proposing with this button all the diagrams of reflection where we can find an elbow, okay, to roll on the face and to look. So we were saying above the eyebrow. So if we close this, we see that here it's a good zone to treat also the elbow. So we will keep the effect. For example, in a tennis elbow, maybe a yin would be more relaxing, maybe if it's very tense like this. And so with the yin effect of a smaller tool, okay, like this one, sorry, with the yin effect of a smaller tool like this part is yin, this part is yin. This exactly, or the one you are showing exactly. Better where it is. It's here. Exactly. This is yin. Okay, with this part of the no, sorry, we were here. Elbow, and we were on this diagram. We were on this one. Okay. And so with this tool, you will have a good result if it was appreciated on the body here. Okay. But if it's not answering here, that you can test also with the little hammer. That's why also it's proposing the little hammer or another detector to test if this zone is answering. It's open. No, it's a door, and we are looking for the key. And if not, you can change and say, but I have others elbow and knee that are connected. Okay, so I can see that here under the cheekbone, I have a zone, okay, of knee and elbow also. I can try. And then we will, so I can also show the points of the diagram if I want. I can show the point of the diagram. They are the points that help Professor Cho to build the diagram, in fact. Okay, so like this, I can also press and say, 30, I forgot this point. It's interesting. Let's see if it's talking about something else than the knee. Yes, the lungs also. Again, interesting. Let's see if there is a real connection or not. The mouse is a bit slow, and I don't manage to. Okay. I don't know why. Okay, and so that's why we can put the points of the diagram. Okay, to learn. It's more a part to learn to do this second phase. The third phase of the treatment plan is to go to the facial, and then we will go here. In fact, then we will go here, and we were on joint pain, and then we will go here. This is the best way to have good results. And then also we will give homework to the person, because, okay, the session can relieve the pain and they are very happy and they feel much more comfortable. But if it's coming from something, we didn't reach the root. And so it's good to continue at home the simple treatment. If, for example, the rolling the elbow with the tool you've shown, and rolling a bit above the eyebrow has a good result, then it's good for the person to buy the tool and to do it at home. Like this, on the next session, at least all this part of relieving the pain would be a bit better, and you will be able to go deeper to reach the origin of the problem. In this case, it can be also postural. I mean, there are many things. It's not only with a session. If they don't change a chair, if they are in front of the computer in a bad position, or if they are playing too much tennis with a bad position. I mean, there are many other things that we have to talk about. And also the alimentation and this. But at least with this, we can find ideas also, ideas to help the person. Does that answer your question?
It does, certainly, and it's really informative, and that means I have to do a little bit more homework in between sessions.
Yeah, this is,
and that's good.
Okay. Yeah. What else?
Well, in the section study that you showed just before,
yes.
When I go back to the liver and the cholesterol,
yes,
it jumps straight away to 0.50, and there's points before that and after that in that little bar that we see the numbers.
Yes.
And I was wondering if the points that show up straight away, are they the main ones to work?
Okay, I have a problem with the mouse. I don't know. It's like if I was not controlling it.
Yes, I see my there's a delay in when I move on the screen as well.
You mean this section, no?
Yeah, this section, and we go to liver.
To liver, yeah. So we go to liver, yes.
And cholesterol.
No, here we don't have symptoms. Here we have only, this is to learn also. It's here you have all the points that are considered linked to the liver.
Yeah.
Here it's
because there was a
yes.
Sorry, there was a section where it jumped to 50 as the first point, but it doesn't matter really. And I wonder if the points that show up in that little bar, are they the main ones to test, or do we go left and right as well?
Here, you mean? You're talking about this bar?
Yeah.
Okay. So no, here it's just that's why it's in a scrolling bar and not in a list, because it's not a formula. It's not a formula. It's all the points that are related to the liver. Okay? And this is to learn to make bridges, because the points that define the diagram, and it's something. It's the part we just saw before. And then we have the diagrams of the points, which is different. Look, if I choose 50 and I ask him to show me the diagrams, then I will see all the diagrams. In this case, it's very organic, okay? So the diagrams that are related to this point. But let's take, for example, another one like this. I don't know, 370. I don't remember. No, 32. It's difficult because here we are really on the liver. So, but 74, for example. You see, 74 is a good example. Okay, it's part of the liver. Okay, it could have a function on the liver, yes. But also, it's part of this diagram. Look, if I put it and I say, let me see what relation it has with this diagram, okay? And I can see that if 74, which is here, you see, 74 has also a relation with all this and all this. So when I'm treating the 50 and I want to make some bridges, to have some ideas, to make some links between the problem of the liver and other things, I can see why this 74 is so painful and have ideas. So the points of the diagrams are not the diagrams of the point. Okay, so it's very this is multi-reflexology, is that we can make bridges and have ideas. And for example, imagine the person came for the liver and you ask, and suddenly you find out that they have a sciatica or allergies, or well, allergy is quite normal with the liver, but also some vertigo or some, this they didn't say it, and you could ask and say, oh, but this is maybe a symptom also, or an origin. That's why it's a part to be able to study those things. Okay, so when I click and I see the diagrams related with this point, okay, here we took an example that are very organic, so it's normal that it's always the same. 356, no, 58, for example. Yes, 58 also. 58, you know, it's a good point to, when you have, I can't remember what you say in English, the pins and needles, pins and needles.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why it's also related to this diagram. Okay. But it's showing, why is it showing this one? Because we didn't, if I press here, that's interesting. Good. Maybe I pressed before the other one. Okay, it's here. Okay. So that's why in this first section, you have the points of the diagram. So if I do again with your example of the liver, I will see, for example, this diagram. Okay, it's this one. Now I'm losing again the mouse. And if I want to see the point, I press here. And in this other section, I don't know why. It's like if someone was controlling it.
So, no.
Yeah.
I've had that experience too.
With so many artificial intelligence, we are very naturally stupid now. And so here we have all the points of the liver, and when we choose one, we can see the diagrams related with this point, and we have to go here and to see them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 199, 89. Sorry, you will have this. When we are on an organic, it's normal, is the same. Okay, but sometimes you have one that can show you 2 or 3 diagrams, and it's good to make those relationship between the problem that we are trying to solve and other things that we didn't think about maybe, and that are good ideas to ask questions and to check if it's in fact involved or no. So that's why those sections are to study. That's why I call them study, because it's more to, this is more something that you can do well. If you do it fast, maybe you can do it with the person when you are a bit looking for a solution, but it can be very interesting also when the client who left to think about the problem and say, why I didn't find something more concrete, and make, I didn't ask this, and it's true, it was coughing, or it was very tired, or it was this is the idea of those sections. Yes.
No, that's cool.
Any other?
And
I wanted also to take advantage to show many people that are complaining that the app crashed when they want to send an email to the patient. And so you have the question about the patient section?
Yes, I know I used it years ago, and I haven't lately, and I'm not comfortable anymore with what to send to the client.
Okay. Let's take advantage to show so that in the preferences you can change the sex of the person. Okay, if you are treating You can put your logo, you can put,
Yeah.
you have a manual, you can put your data like this. All this mail that we are going to do will be with your logo and your address and everything. So let's do this with let's take again our elbow example and inflammation, for example, joint pain, to stay with the same example. So we know that when we choose a part of the body, we have some possible symptoms or affections that are displayed. Okay. Then when we press on this screen, we have the zone, and then we have the points. But now we are going to test the points like we said at the beginning, but we want to keep them and to delete the one that we are not keeping, that they are not tender. Okay, so here it's where this button is useful, is to create a treatment. Okay, so we create a treatment, and once we have created a treatment, we can create the patient or choose one of the list we already have. So if we want to sorry, to make a new one, we press a plus. Let's take one with already things, a fake patient that I have to show. Okay, let's take this boy. Okay, so we can put his name, his things, many things. We can also write some information that are going to be share with him, role every day, okay, with the tool, and which tool we are going to advise him. So we can delete some and say, look, we are going to keep the one you said. Okay, let's keep those two, the little hammer, and we need to put two, but they can buy only one if they prefer. And the double yin roller that you said. Here you have some text. I give you some automatic tests, but obviously you can change them. It won't affect the database. So if you click in this field, you can completely change the text and make your own. Okay, good. So those are the information. Here we have the map. We can close this little pad like this. We have the map and we have also the points, right? With the same button as usual, we have the map and the points. If we want to modify the formula, which is the point of this, we go to the little pencil here and we have the formula, which is now inside here. Okay, we have the formula. And then we can delete the points that didn't answer. And we can create zones putting this green exclamation mark. Look, if I put it in zone, for example, the 197, which is here, if I off this, you see, the zone, the 300, okay? Can you see on the forehead that the zone? Okay, good. Why? Because we want him to roll here. Okay. For example, the 3 in his case didn't answer, so we can delete just dragging the finger like this. Let's say that those one didn't answer. Okay, didn't answer. We didn't no lungs problems. The spleen, yes, we are going to keep it, but don't put it in zone because this is what we are going to do in the consultation room. The 50 we keep it and we don't put it in zone. The 74 maybe, the 38 we will don't put it in zone, but we keep it. For example, let's say that those one answer well. Okay, and we can delete we can delete all the one that, well, the elbow, this one we put it in zone again, and the facial okay, and what else, and that's it. It's just too much sport or something like this. So now we have this. And we would like him to roll those parts in between sessions, and we want to share it with him. So what we are going to do is to press the mail button, and here it's coming your logo, your name. So if you don't put any logo and you don't put any name, it puts the school one, but it's better to put yours. Here it's all the text you've written to show, to explain a little what he has to do. And here you have the map that you have created. Okay, so like this you can share this map for him to know where to roll. Okay, and the two tools you've recommended are here also with the text, or the automatic one or yours. Right, let's delete this one. And now imagine that you want to share some points with him. And you want to show him, because he preferred the little hammer, and so you want to show him to hammer those one. So you just have to zoom on the part you want to show and create also a mail with the same blah blah of text and the zoomed map on the one that you can perfectly add some if you put it like this, you can, with the mouse it's a bit difficult, you can add some okay, some drawing. You take this little pencil, okay, and you can say, look, first do this one and this one, okay, because it was, for example, the right elbow, and then we will see 300 times on this one and 198 times on this one. No, it's a joke. No, a few 50 times, 2 or 3 times a day, or at night with the little hammer.
I can count.
Yeah, it's very pleasant at night watching your best TV show and to use the little hammer. So like this. So when you've drawn those lines, you say okay, and the map you are sending. Let's get rid of the keyboard, and the map you are sending has your also drawing. Okay, so for this to work, it's very necessary to have the mail application of the iPad with an account and configure it with your mail. If not, the app is using the mail app of the iPad. So many people are not using the mail in the iPad, and so when they press this button, it crashes. I want to add a little alert message when it happens, and so they write to me, say it doesn't work. No, it's because you didn't configure the mail. So you see that the formula here. Yes.
That's a good point.
Yes.
Because I use my iPad only for this and something else.
Exactly. Many people. And so you see that the formula we have here, it's the one that is good for him in this moment, are the points that are more sensitive. So this is the way, now we have a real formula. And the one in red are the one that we've put the exclamation mark to make a zone. Okay, it's just to make a zone. If I put it in zone, we see that it's okay, it's making in a zone. So this is the way. So this treatment, it's saved. If we want to come back to the file of the person, we have this blue pencil, and here we have the history. That's why I've taken this patient, because like this we can see. So this is the last one we've done. It's not here because we are on it. And also some people ask me, how do you save? No, this is because they're coming from the 80s. No, we don't have to save. If we go back, it's saved. Okay, so let's come back to the file of this patient, and okay, and let's go and see his history. So you see that the joint able is here now with the date of today, the 17th of April. But we could say, look, we've done the same example in 21, but in French. So if we go to this and say, oh, he came also for a bladder inflammation, we go here and we can see the formula we've done when he had this problem. And you see, it's all saved. Okay?
Yeah.
It's all saved. And also some people ask me to be able to export all their treatments because they want to have them in an Excel file, or they want to keep some information. So there is a little button here that creates an Excel sheet to document, in fact, in document, and it creates an email with this document of all your treatments attached in your email that you can send to yourself. Okay. So this is also, some people like also to keep and add some things, or I don't know, like this, they can keep what they've created. Everything is inside the iPad. Nothing is shared with nobody. We have no access. We don't know the name of the user. It would be nice to have their email, but we don't know them. So everything is inside. It works. Everything works offline. It's a very well compiled tool. Everything works offline except, I show you what is online. the video that is not working now, the video of the use of the tool, but you can find it on this little eye that connects to the internet. It opens a web viewer, in fact, and in the web viewer, if you are connected, you will see the video of John using the tool. Okay, so this is the file of the tool that is also available in the shop. Okay, and look, you recognize her?
Yeah, absolutely.
And okay, so here is just the file of the tool. So here, and also what is working sometimes, but in mine is not working, maybe because I have the last iOS, it's to add the tool to the cart, because, well, this one is not available, but I think that the app will crash if I go here. This will be repaired soon. They can buy the tools from the app, they can buy the tools from the shop also. Okay, so those are the main things you were asking. Do you have any other question?
Yes. When I click, there's some body parts. When I click on it, it will show some conditions that are grey.
Ah, yes.
They're not accessible.
Yeah. Here there are many. Here I think there are many. It's a mistake. It's a mistake.
Yeah.
There are some ideas that there were some notes of mine and they went through. And so because they have no nothing linked to them, they stay in gray. But in fact, some maybe I will complement them in the future, but some, no, they're just notes. Because it's all offline and all inside, they stay there. No, sorry. We could, but in fact, it's a bit, it was a first idea, but for example, hate or desire, and this, it's a bit ridiculous to pretend to say it in points and zone without explaining that it's using the Chinese medicine knowledge about the emotions related to organs and blah, blah, blah. So it should have a bit of more of text. But in fact, when you click on the black one, you have always in the bubble menu, always some text but about the tools to help you to use them. It's like, for example, when you go to the tool section and you choose, for example, the elbow, you want this is good for beginners. Obviously, you have all those proposal of tools that are adapted to this zone. Okay, that's it, and some little help about the way to use them. So this is really for beginners. And if when we go to this section where we were before, also something is interesting is when you say, oh, I can't remember if it was the 156 or 256, and you want to look for it immediately where it was exactly or what it's saying. So it shows you its file, obviously, and also the position of the point. This is very practical. I use this a lot because I cannot remember everything. And sometimes I think about a point and I'm not very sure exactly if it's the one I wanted or if I'm making a confusion. And in this search system, also we have added the all BQC points because many students wanted this to be able to click on a point just directly without having to make a formula and say, what is the 432? Okay. And they know where it is, or also it can be helpful when you find some living points and want to check if it's really a BQC point or not. Or so that's why I've added this the full map just in case.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got an image of that on next to where I work, next to the face, with the list of where to find them, and that's handy as well.
Yes, that's handy as well. Yeah. With the app, it's very easy because you have the search system. Okay. Any more question you had in your list?
Yes, I think so. Oh yes, there was one. Sometimes I find a protocol, as I call it, in the book, but not on the app. No, and then when the client comes, I write it down, but probably should be able to put it in the app.
Well, yes. So to answer, first, in the app, it's to help you to build it. So choose the part of the body, choose the symptoms that is more similar to the problem. If it's really nothing, please send me an email and tell me because maybe we've forgotten it. And to find something, I've tried not to use pathology names because they are really not precise for us. So always I prefer symptoms or like this. I try, but some pathology names are so into the natural language that maybe the tendinitis or sinusitis or things like this maybe are there. And then when you want to add a formula that you really like, that you use as a base or whatever, a course formula, like we said, just create a false patient that you call course. And so we could do it like this. Yes, I will give you a trick. You want an empty file of a patient. Imagine you want an empty file, not to have to delete them. There is a trick because you see that here, if you don't choose anything, the app is complaining, right? How to create an empty file? There is an Easter egg, they call it. I've made something because I use it a lot and I like it. And you just choose all systems or states, whatever, but without choosing any. Don't choose any. Okay? And now create a patient. And you make a new one because he's still on the last one we've done. Okay? A new one. And here, look, the formula is empty. You
understand? Wonderful.
And so you call it, you see, it's saying nuevo in Spanish because I put this. But in fact, you can just create change the name, you create the new one. And so you see, you can delete the nuevo, of course, and put, I don't know, my formulas, okay? For example. And then here, because you want to create your own, to keep it in the app, so you put, let's say, okay, it's a muscular, the typical muscular, okay, relaxant. So I put the 156, I put the 5, okay, and you add them. Okay, with the finger, it goes faster than with this mouse that is a bit lazy. 38, okay, just the things that we really know, no? And you make your formula like this. And so now it's going to, yes?
Sorry, is this, can you use this one for a particular condition that you work with one client, or can you create under my formulas different ones?
Yes, you create different ones. Here I have this one and I have to put a name. And so this one, I put a name. You see it's saying cis. No, but it's not cis. No. I'm touching the keyboard. No. Okay, sorry. I was touching the keyboard of the Mac instead of the iPad. Okay, so here you put the name of your formula. Okay, not to type. I take anything. And then you see, you come back here. You see that you have this client. Okay, my formulas. Okay, create another one. Create another one empty. Another one empty, a new, and here choose my formulas. And so you will have all of them here. You see the first one is here. It's the history. You create a false patient.
Yeah, so each time to get to it, you go to a new formula.
Yeah, you create, but you assign it to the same patient. For example, with all those people that had so many problems with the sense of smell after the pangolini hysteria. So we had, I can't remember now all of them, for the sense of smell. It was very working, this one. I know we had very good result. We had some living points also on the nose, and also to reactivate the brain irrigation. And so here rapidly I go and say, in observation, I put, oh, I was touching the keyboard. Sense of smell, okay. Smell, okay. And it's in my my formula. No, I cannot edit the name. I should have put the correct name before. And okay, so here you see that now in my formulas, I have
You've got the two.
the two.
Yeah.
Okay. So many students are doing this. They call them my formulas or course or basic or I don't know. And they add formulas that they create from scratch that they like to use. If it's a patient, it's better to assign them to the patient, to the file of the patient. But if it's just like notes that you want to have on hand very fast, it's a good way to keep them.
Yeah.
Because then you will have them very fast like this. Here you put them in points and you close and you have them.
Yeah. No, that's wonderful.
Okay.
And you answered my question about when I try to share the homework with the client. My app closes, and that's obviously because I'm not connected to email.
Yeah, because email is not configured.
Yeah, it's I don't use it for that, so I'll need to look at that. Thank you. And when we click on the box with the meridians,
yes.
When would you use that? When adding, do you add it to another formula, or I'm not that familiar with meridians personally?
Yes, it's more for people that already have knowledge and are looking for this, and they say, okay, I want to use, for example, imagine someone that has some ear problems, and the acupuncturist, they know that the meridian of the gallbladder it could be involved because it's a meridian that goes around the ear like this. So clicking like this on the meridian is always on the meridian. It doesn't have any symptoms. Okay, it's just to see where are the points that can stimulate the energy of this meridian.
Yeah, so, no, that's great. Yeah.
So yes, it's good to know the path. It would be good, maybe this is one of the things I would like to add in the new version next year. I need a lot of snow to be able to spend hours. Yes, and it's to add at least the path of the meridian, because it can be very helpful to see. It's very interesting for the people that don't have a knowledge in TNC, traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, to at least check the path of the meridians when there is a blockage. And for example, this thing about the ear, it's interesting. Many times I've solved some problems of frozen shoulder with the large intestine meridian that goes all course here, and it's incredible that it was not always, but many times in elderly people it was a blockage of the large intestine. Okay, so this is why it's here. It's all the things that we know about relationship between Chinese medicine and Dien Chan. So okay, so that's why it's here, because it's very practical. So here on the blue one,
great.
Yes. On the blue one, you have more states, general states, no temperature, for example, but you see chill, cold, fever, flu. When you go back up, sensations. Okay, it's more general states on the blue. Those are states, and here are groups, because they are not. But in English, I think you call all of them systems. That's why I call them system. But in French, no, we have some that are called appareil, or others are called system. But in fact, it's all the groups. So the things that are not divided in the zones of the body. So the immune system, the joints in general, the skin, the back. You see, it's all mixed. ENT, for example, it's all a sphere of. Okay, so here is the systems, here the states, here the relation with Chinese medicine. Okay.
Yeah.
And here in the red one, it's the brain, which is not the head, it's inside the head. So the brain, the cranial nerves, the dynamics, also dynamics. Here there is a bad translation, I think. I think this is Angst. The second one is not anxiety. I think it's Angst. Aggressivity,
Mm.
one of those is angst. And so it's dynamic. It's not to judge. I didn't want to use a disease or words that were supposing a judgment. I don't know. For example,
Yeah.
vices or no. If someone is alcoholic, it's because he wants. Maybe he's right. Okay, so that's why we've tried to put all those things together here in the brain, in dynamics.
I like that part actually, because certainly with COVID, a lot of people benefited from those points.
Very, very useful.
Yeah.
Yes. Any other question?
Yes. Not directly, unless there's something you've heard other people ask, or I don't have a question at the
No, I
moment.
think we did quite a good journey. No, we've been looking at all those buttons.
Yep.
This button about Chanbote is just a bit of information, how we use the diagrams in Chanbote, and when we click on it, we need it to be connected to internet because this page is internet. So there is a bit of explanation. We can open we can we can open a little bit. It's just information, and you can find much more on the web. It's not a Chanbote app. It's information about Chanbote in this app, and the way we use the diagrams. There is an app of Chanbote.
And that reminds me.
Yes.
Sorry, keep going unless I've got another question.
No, that's it. Tell
about Chanbote. Well, in Chanbote, I've got that app as well, and I see that there's a lot of connections, of course, with organs and various things. So sometimes I feel going to Chanbote, the client will benefit together of beauty and health.
Completely.
They do, yeah.
Completely. That's why the app of Chanbote, it's more a catalog. There are some practical treatments, some protocols. It's more thought for estheticians that are with this natural way of treating worry. So it's easier. It's just to follow protocols, and it's more they know in Dien Chan, more they will be able to create their own, obviously. But it's an app that is very practical in the treatment room. And they are very happy because it's taking also the treatment plan, the global situation. Then, of course, they come for a wrinkle, for a mark, or for many aesthetic purposes. But little by little, we can consolidate and reach the origin of the imperfection, thanks to the knowledge of Dien Chan. So that's why it's very different than Faceasit, than this app. It's much more simple to use. Here, the important thing is to understand that we have to localize the situation of the problem, if it's possible, on the body. If not, we have the system or the groups, and then to choose the most adapted symptom that can help us. It's not most of the people, they say, there is no search. They say, I want to search for, and this is completely wrong. This is exactly what we don't have to do. Exactly. And now maybe they will understand it with the new wave of artificial intelligence. They don't search. It's to build. Okay. And search would be to copy exactly what they do in the Western medicine. You have this, they look in the book and they give you this. And it works or it doesn't work. So no, here we want to build. So it's just to help to combine parts of the points and zones that rebalance the part of the body with points that also have effects on this part and on the pain, on the symptom. And so it's to combine and to choose the one that are adapted to the person. So there is no search, because we are not looking for a pathology. We are building a treatment. It's completely different. It's much more clever. So if we ask me how many formula we have here, an infinity, millions and millions, because we can combine many things. And this is what a good therapist, the natural therapist, they know this, know what to do. It's not to copy what they do in the Western medicine. That is just this solution, this, and that's why then they sell tablets in the chemist. But it's not a solution. It's not. Before, no. The chemist used to do a formula for you, depending on your state. And so we have to come back to this. This is natural and holistic. It's to take the global situation and to focus little by little toward the problem, and not say, I have this. And then that's why the people became passive in front of the pathology. The doctor, look, doctor, I give you my problem, solve it. No. If you are passive, no. So in our world, people that are interested in coming to a natural therapist, they normally are not so passive. They agree to do some homework. The 12 morning massage are amazing. Many people should do them, and the people that are doing them are so happy, so happy. They change their life because it's a general energetical massage every morning. Instead of just, I take this pill for the elbow, I take this pill for the liver, I take this pill for that. No, this is wrong. They are just selling you things, but not taking. You're not solving. And so here is this reasoning is here to choose the part of the body and to look for something more appropriate to the thing that they are suffering.
No, I like this. It's great information that you shared, Patrick. Merci.
Avec plaisir. I think it's good to give good information and serious, because like this, Dien Chan won't fall into the basket of, well, another Chinese thing, another natural thing that it doesn't work. And no, it's not true. It's a very serious method, and I want to show it. If we and so that's why so many students come to our teachers, because we are a team that we are sharing this philosophy, and we want to teach the original method, and not only what is the point to. No, it's not a bingo. What is the point to? No, it's the combinations of points and the combination of zones, the treatment plan that give so many good results. Some people that didn't follow our class, they write to me and say, well, I've tried and sometimes work, but what do you do? And they do I don't know how many points just to do points. No, this is not Dien Chan. There are zones, there are effects of the tools. They are very important. And that's why the therapists that are following this have so good results.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We hope to, now the world seems to open again, to come back to Australia. But for our public from North America, we have an amazing school in North America that is, we are working together, and you can find the classes with Erica Leighton Wayland, and see videos, and see also, and she will come back to USA also now that they can travel. So don't miss good information, and don't fall into the gap of simplified. Many people are teaching Dien Chan and they just simplify, oh, I'm more clever than my student. No. Oh, everybody is clever. Everybody has a different type of patient. Everybody can make its own method. But to teach it, you need to teach the original one. It's like if in music you don't teach all the notes. No, keeping information is bad. We don't sell information, we sell talent. Yeah, the time.
It's an art.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you have any other question, if not, we close.
Not at the moment, no, thank you. And I would love to see you guys in Australia, but not in Melbourne or Sydney.
It's far.
It's a bit far from me.
And now that I'm in these nice little mountains, I don't want to move anymore. And I should be in the garden now. The spring is coming, and okay. So thank you to you, Anne, because questions are very interesting always, and it's good for people to see the app working with questions of people coming from outside, because I cannot guess all the questions, obviously, and there is no stupid questions.
Yeah, and being in Australia, training here for Dien Chan is not really that available. But when Erica came to Melbourne, I did it. And there was great information, but this is useful to learn more about the app as well.
Good. And if anybody that is watching us also has questions, don't worry. It's a pleasure to answer and share. Okay.
Yeah. You're very supportive. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so happy to have seen you at least and to be able to talk thanks to this technology, because we like to write. Normally we communicate in French, in fact, but you didn't lose any French for so many years. You live in Australia. Wow, it's amazing.
Well, I left Belgium when I was 22, going back to Holland, and then I've been in Australia 40 years now, et je parle encore le français.
Mais parfaitement. Alors, merci.
En ik spreek nog steeds Nederlands.
And Dutch. Good. Thank you very much, Anne. We see you.
Thank you.
Bye.